Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Wednesdays con Wilma, book besties. Your girl's been going through it. Work has been like clock in, girl, on all levels, clock in. And so I've been in a little bit of a book slump. So before we get into it, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, engage. And this week is gonna be a little chit chat. Yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna get into it. Cause your girl's been feeling like her head. Absolutely not to everything. Husband be like, what we eating for dinner? Figure it out. I don't know. It's not in my spirit. Just not happening. Don't worry, he been fed. He's alive. He's doing well. He got snacks or whatever. But let's get into it. So yeah, for the past 2 to 3 weeks, it's been a lot to really delve deep in the reading realm. Because life has been lifing. There's a lot of things that I am now being added into, both professionally and creatively. That's been taking up some space. And although I keep a book on me, just being able to find the time to really get in the groove to read. Because I don't know about y'all, but like when I read, I like to dive deep. Sometimes I'll stop reading because something will come up and I'll look into it, or like I don't know, for y'all, as English as a second language, I've always kept like the dictionary next to me as well, because sometimes I didn't know the meaning of the word, and so I had to look it up so I can understand the context of the passage. Um, Fun fact: that's how I learned English even better, because I would like to look up these words as I was reading, because I didn't know what they meant. So it's just been really really hard. And also I just came off of a series, so that kept me really like in tune. So I really like that when I get into a series mode. Not trying to be too much in the numbers, like the numbers didn't do well with the series, whatevs, but I do like that when I'm saying, okay, I'm going to read Cat in the Hat books as an example, as a series, at least I know, okay, that's what I'm going to be dedicated to. I also feel like I have like a reading paralysis type of thing, because I have too many options. And so I really need to do some groundwork to like set myself up for the next few weeks of content. Speaking of reading choices, your girl done added to the choices, because I just had to use my Barnes and Nobles card, one that I had left over from my birthday, and I got some stuff. So we'll get into that. But then I also need to sit and sort through my TBR card that I set up early in the year and start picking from that too. But like I said, like this reading paralysis of like just not being able to settle and want to move forward. Like I one of the books that I got is a new addition to a series, and the Hunger Games series. I'm like, the world is the Hunger Games. Like I need escapism, and right now this feels like real life. I was reading Defectors, and I want to finish that up because that's part of the Divertir Soto series, and it's just like that's been hard because with everything that's going on that ties into my work, it's really hard for me to get into the why Latinos would defect, um, when I am dealing with the real life aspects of this presidency. So it's just been really, really hard to get into it. Very interesting, trust me. Like Paola Ramos is a great author, but when real life is like right, like my sister literally texted me from our town, like, hey, they were literally down the street from where we live, and by they ICE, and it was just like, whoa, like wow, like this is at the doorstep, and not feeling well equipped to protect folks that you care about. So like I said, life has been lifing. So I needed to take a beat. I was also away at a conference last week for work. So I was out here being a conference mommy, as my friend Jay would call me, and picking up some leadership capabilities there and opportunities. So that was also why I was away last week from the channel, because although I took all the things to film, this body and this spirit was like, how about you go sit down? Sit down. Not sit down. Sat down and just let that nap take you. Let that moment take you. And I really needed a break from it all. Cause your girl's exhausted, very tired, very needed to nap, very would like to be swaddled. So very exhausted. So that has just kind of been the overall thing, especially with like grad school. I didn't get into the one application that I applied to and just kind of feeling like down about that. I mean, granted, only applied to one school, so it was a 50-50 chance of getting in or not getting in. But then being like, dang, I gotta revisit this goal, see what that how that aligns with some other goals that I have in my life. Um, so yeah, so your girl has been sorting through some things on top of still pursuing other goals. And it has taken me away from wanting to sit down and read the way I really like to read. I jot notes down, I look things up, like I said prior. So I haven't been in my comfort zone to really dive really, really deep after the women's history series that I did. So without further ado, let's get into some books that I did add and then let's discuss what next steps we got to take. Speaking of the Hunger Games, I got Sunrise on the Reaping, Susan Collins, and this is another prequel. So it's after the Songbirds and Ballads and it's right before Katniss's games. This deals with Hamish's games, which Hamish has always been a very complex character. Um, the movies did not do his story justice for what we got in the first Hunger Games, but it goes into that. And so I definitely want to read this in order because I did get Songbirds and Ballads when the movie came out. And I saw the movie before I read the book. So I really want to get in the space of like reading it in order because, of course, I read the trilogy before um, these additional books came out. But I kind of want to read them in order to get that good timeline context. So this is one of the books that I had got with my gift card. Another book that I got that also feels very too much like reality is Margaret Atwood's The Testaments. And I've read The Handmaid's Tale before the series came out and all of the trauma that that has put a viewer through. But they also greenlit The Testaments um, once The Handmaid's Tale is done, and I wanted to read it before. I believe it comes out next year sometime. So I wanted to read The Testaments before the show comes out, so I can have some backstory and understand the source material. So this is another book that I had got with my gift card. This, I believe, takes a few years after. So it says the Republic of Gilead maintains its repressive grip on power, but it but it's beginning to rot from within. At this crucial moment, two young women with radically different experience of the regime will come face to face with the legendary ruthless Aunt Lydia. But how far will go for what she believes? And I word on the street is there's like a redemption arc for Aunt Lydia, which I thought she was like irredeemable because fucking nut. But definitely want to get into it. Want to see other perspectives besides June's in the story. So pretty thick too. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to take 15 years after the original. But we'll get into it when we have the capability to. But I definitely wanted to cop it because um, like I said, I wanted to get it before the production is unraveled from the series, and I know that it's already like been tied up, but I wanted to make sure that I got it before we're able to see the show. This next book, I am so proud of the author. I have also been able to utilize her services. It is by Dalina Soto, who is a registered dietitian, and it's the Latina anti diet. If you follow her on all of the socials, TikTok, Instagram, all the things. She is such an advocate for our cultural foods and just basically like allowing you to eat healthily without demeaning your cultural foods, as well as like being like, hey, you're supposed to eat more than coffee in the morning. It's okay to eat plátanos. Like, sofrito is vegetables literally mashed up. So like you have a serving of vegetables if you're using sofrito. So like I said, being across her, she's such a down to earth professional in her space. And then like the fact that she was able to write this book, I cannot wait to get into it. It is very refreshing to receive professionals who look like you, who understand your culture. And as a woman of a bigger size, always being told that like your food was incorrect or wrong and not taking in your economic status or your cultural indicators, it was super refreshing to be able to sit across from her and just be like, we're going to put together a meal plan that incorporates your foods because you can have them. You can have yuca, you can have malanga, you can have these things that are in your culture and not feel like, oh my god, they're bad, or even calling foods bad, right? She has had conversations of like, stop demeaning foods, and having a bigger conversation about like where we're accessing this foods, right? The food swamps, the food deserts. That's really a bigger issue than access, what foods you're eating. So can't wait to get into that. And again, super proud that Dalina was able to put this out. The next book was kind of a wild card. Wasn't planning on getting it, but it's also so freaking gorgeous. Like this is what got me the cover, like beautiful. So it's by John Manuel Arias, and it is Where There Was Fire, a novel. Um, haven't heard of this author before, but Juan Manuel Arias is a queer Costa Rican American poet and writer. He is a Canto Mundo Fellow and alumnus of the Tin House Summer Workshop. His prose and poetry have been published in Pank and the Rumpus Fiction Joyland and Ashik books. He has lived in Washington, D.C., Brooklyn, New York, and San Jose, Costa Rica with his grandmother and four ghosts. So this, like I said, saw the cover, thought it was absolutely gorgeous, and then read the back. It says, Costa Rica, 1968, when a lethal fire erupts at the American Fruit Company's most lucrative banana plantation, burning all evidence of a massive cover up, the future of Teresa Cerepa Valverde's family is changed forever. 27 years later, Teresa and her daughter, Laira, are still picking up the pieces. Laira wants nothing to do with her mother, but is desperate to find out what happened to her family that fateful night. Teresa, haunted by a missing husband and bitter ghost of her mother, is unable to reconcile the past. What folds is a story of a mother and daughter trying to forgive each other, and the mystery at the heart of one family's rupture, seeped in machismo, labor uprisings, and the havoc wreaked by banana plantations in Central America. Y'all know I love a good historical fiction, y'all. Y'all know I do. So when I saw this and then I read the back, I said, "You're coming with me? You're coming with me." So these are four new books to my collection. With that being said, what the fuck am I going to read next? Like, I want to read it all and I don't have the capability. Like, do I go into the Ability Más Photos category? Do I go and just randomly select one? I do not know. So I'm going to elicit your help. Like and comment, what should I go next? And that's what I will do next week. Um, Drop a comment in the YouTube comments, like the video, let me know. Do you want me to start the Debil Tirar Más Fotos series? Would you want me to just pick up one of these? Um, if you've seen my other to be read list, pick that out. Do you have a suggestion? Let me know because I really do need to get out of this reading paralysis swamps. Like I need to get out of it. I do need to like crack the book open and fully ingest the work, like I did for my women's history series. So without being said, let me know what I should read next, and I will see you next week. Ciao, lo vemos. Oh, and happy Easter, happy Passover for all of those who celebrate. Lo vemos la semana que viene. Bye.